Have you ever heard of returns of 8% per month? No, it's not a joke. And we're not talking about crypto or crazy gambling schemes. We're talking about something the wealthy are already using quietly. We're talking about private credit. But let's take it step by step. Imagine being able to lend your money directly to selected businesses, bypassing traditional banks. No bureaucracy, no slow intermediaries. Just you, your capital, and a clear contract. Now multiply this system by thousands of investors and hundreds of companies. Welcome to the world of private credit, the industry that in 2025 is devouring the bond market. And why? Because it works. It's no coincidence that the wealthiest families in Europe and the US are shifting their capital away from the stock market, not out of fear, but because they've discovered something better. A new model, more dynamic, more flexible, and above all, more profitable. Private credit isn't just a trendy name, it's a 1.5 trillion euro industry that keeps growing. We're talking about direct loans to real businesses that either don't want or can't afford to go through traditional banks. These are real companies, often solid, looking for flexibility. And who provides that capital? Specialized funds, family offices, and recently, smart investors like you. Yes, you. Because today, thanks to regulated digital platforms, you too can access this elite universe, starting with much smaller amounts than you'd think. What was once an exclusive club is now becoming a real opportunity for those seeking powerful and recurring income. You don't need to be a millionaire to get in, but you do need to think like one. While government bonds promise miserable yields, often not even covering inflation, private credit gives you numbers that change everything. 8%, 10%. In some cases, even 12% annually, distributed monthly. But careful, it's not a world without risk. That's why you need to understand the rules of the game, and that's where this video comes in. Because now, we're diving into the beating heart of this financial revolution. Who's behind it? Who's really profiting? And most importantly, how do you get in? Let's start with a word you must memorize: direct lending. It means lending money directly to selected businesses, cutting out banks and middlemen. Who lends? You do. Who earns? You do. But this isn't amateur lending. We're talking about regulated platforms, advanced algorithms evaluating risk in real time, and predictive models rivaling traditional investment funds. It's total control over your capital. No banks, no bureaucracy, just you and your returns. This form of private credit was for years the exclusive playground of the ultra-rich. Family offices, hedge funds, institutional investors. But now, thanks to tokenization and digital asset fractionalization, anyone can join. With small amounts, we are witnessing a level of financial democratization never seen before. And the best part? These returns are not tied to traditional market performance. That means protection. That means independence. That means, finally, true financial freedom. Ever wondered why bonds aren't paying anymore? Because they're static, they're slow, they're loaded with hidden fees, commissions, taxes, and a ton of constraints that freeze your money for years. Private credit, on the other hand, is liquid, dynamic, often with monthly payouts. It gives you a real sense of control over your money. And most importantly, it gives you power. Decision-making power. You choose where your money goes, in which company, with what risk, with what timeline. Now think about this. In a world where central banks print money like there's no tomorrow, where inflation is eating away at your savings every day, where traditional tools are obsolete, the only way to survive is to break away from the crowd, to break the routine, to reprogram your investment strategy. And private credit is the perfect key to do it. There are emerging platforms acting as bridges between investors and highly vetted small businesses. Innovative sectors, scalable models, high margins, low exposure to economic cycles. That's where you find that famous 8% per month, sometimes even more. And guess what? Everything is monitored, tracked, with advanced dashboards showing every single move of your investment in real time. It's like having Wall Street in your pocket, but without the traps. There are firms, clubs, and platforms that handpick the projects they invest in and let you in with relatively small starting amounts. We're not talking about public funds or listed stocks, but private capital financing alternative activities like litigation finance, decentralized renewables, or high turnover real estate operations. Imagine for a second being the mini banker of a parallel system. Instead of lending money to a government that gives you crumbs, you go straight to the financial vein of those who actually move capital. And the results? Compounded, month after month. In this world, the rule is no longer to wait 10 years to get 7%. Here we're talking weeks. But listen, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying it's possible. And those who get it today will be 1,000 steps ahead in July and 1,500 by December. Now you're probably asking, how do you access these opportunities? The truth is, some are invite only. Others are buried in boring documents full of technical jargon. But the best ones? They're starting to surface. And if you're following this channel, you're already ahead of the average. But why does private money beat bonds? Because it's not held back by sluggish regulations. Because it can react in real time to the market. And because it doesn't follow mass narratives, but the real needs of people, businesses, and economies you'll never see in the news, yet generate profit every day. Let me give you a concrete example. There are companies buying bad debt from banks at a massive discount and recovering it with advanced tracking technologies. The margins? Often above 20% annually. And you can get in with a small stake and enjoy mind-blowing returns. Or fintech models lending to hand-picked entrepreneurs via algorithm, redistributing profits monthly. All legal, all structured, still invisible to 90% of people. That's why you need to break free from the fog of mainstream finance. You need to unlearn the old rules and accept that today, with the same capital, you can achieve radically different results. Who listens today, acts tomorrow, and wins the day after. This is not financial advice. It's an invitation to think for yourself, to seek independent sources, to stop being hypnotized by tiny returns from comfortable solutions. Because real wealth lies in calculated risk, not in fake safety. And now, listen closely. If this video sparked even a small flame inside you, you have a mission. Don't stay still. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. Because every week, I'll bring you into worlds no one else dares to show you. Concrete strategies, real numbers, and visions that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about finance. You're not here by accident. You're here because you're ready, and this channel will be your accelerator.